Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Dude, I was testing out.
The door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
حرومزاده نمیده اشمه نمیده آی خدا من علک الان مثلا میگم خب این فاکینگ ببین من یه مدت خیلی درگیر اچیومنت شده بودم خب اصلا لذت از بازی واسم گرفته بود که چی ببین من یه زمانی مثلا اینجوری بودم که میشستم بازی میکردم عشق میکردم با بازی خب مثلا اوری بعد چی میگن اچیومنت رو میدیدم اینجوری بود که 500 بار با این سنگ بازی کن 500 بار مثلا خب بعد من صرفا به خاطر اینکه اینجوری بودم که بگیرم دیگه واسه 3 ساعت طول میکشید ولی هیچ لذتی نداشت خود اون اچیومنت گرفتنم صرف این حال میداد که مثلا ببینی زیر 10% پلیر گرفتن ولی واقعا I don't know ببین یه سری اچیومنت اینقدر بده میگم ولی یه جایی خودم تو فاز اچیومنت افتاده بودم که آره حاجی مهم نیست چقدر تخمیه بگیر اچیومنت ها رو بگیر ولی از یه جایی به بعد اینجوری بودم که نه این خودش میتونه یه پوینتی باشه که بابا این اهورا هم شده مگنیتور رو اسخال یه پوینتی میتونه باشه که چه بدونم بگی یه بازی مثلا یه سری المان داره که تو باعث بشه تو بخوای ادامه بدی یه سری کارهای بیشتر از صرفا داستان انجام بدی چه چالشایی برای تو چیده که ارزشش داشته باشه به بازی برگردی نه که 500 با یه سنگ جابجا کنه
I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417? At his office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. Anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
نگاه کن نمیذاره چیز کنی نمیذاره اسپیدران کنی خدای من oh my god خدای من
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the
نمیذاره شاهکار
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been...
من رندوم هی اسپیس میزنم عادت دارم یعنی مثلا تو یه سری بازیات حوصله‌ام سر میره هی جامپ نه حالا حوصله‌ام سر بره دستم حالا با یه چیزی ور باشه دیگه حالت میگم ADHD طوری بعد achievement you can jump
to accept
actually this will capture فکر کنم دیدید
blindly. No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are...
من برو بریم
precious
ماتریس خراب شد.
Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have...
I feel attacked. I feel fucking attacked.
Dear, what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
نه.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
The fuck, no way. همین اینا بازی از اول.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
زود اینجا رو پیدا کردم. خیلی زود اینجا رو پیدا کردم. Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What the fuck?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me Thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. Where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
What the fuck is this? بله. Friend list is empty. Fuck you, god damn it. ناراحتم. خدا. bitch. اصلا واقعا یوزر استیم برنامه‌اش خیلی خوب میشد. آخ آخ آخ. عالی میشد. عالی. اینا احتمالاً چیز هستن، یه غذایایی داره. اوکی، اینه دیگه تمام چیزایی که بود که میشد دید.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yes.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Already.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? If it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done.
I'm done.
It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then...
Wow.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
نگارو عالی
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light? Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay.
برو linear. You like linear games, Mr. Davey? این چیزه که پورتاله که وای
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
حرف صدا گلیدوس بیاد. No way. همجوری آورد خدایا بگم چیکار کنه تو.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience, which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work, and I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Work in progress, beta, فلان. You made this so much game for me, bro. Yeah, for me. No way you did this all for me, bro. No way. No way. Imagine of we are all Stanley. یار
I wonder
عالی.
what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world.
Yes, narrator, yes.
Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Okay, what will you say? What will you do? Do you suck my bowels? Nope, you don't. I'm sorry. I will go do and do and do it.
No. No. What do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Give me a chief. Bruh. I'm sorry.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Dude, you're...
Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Sorry, buddy, but...
No, perhaps not.
Perhaps not.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Dude, you will make me cry.
Or maybe you're just getting it. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me? I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
I like your game. I get it. It's just not the joke. It's more than that. I don't say I get all meanings, but I get it. I actually having fun. It's all about gameplay.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I want to be happy. آها داستانو خواستم بگم. مثلا خود بازی میاد میگه اوکی من داستان اصلیم اینه. داستان اصلیم تو چند دقیقه تمام میشه؟ 4 دقیقه. خب پس بی ارزشه یا با ارزشه چون داستان خوبی روایت کردم. تو الان یه سیستم رو اپ این بردی چون کوتاه بود پس اکسپریانس خوبی نبود. یعنی الان میخوای بری برگردی و اونجوری که من هدفم نبوده بازی رو بری که بتونی ازش کانتنت بیشتری در بیاری، مثلا یه همچین حالتی. جالبه تو کامیونیتی ایران هر کی راجع به این بازی یه چیز گفته، اونم اینه که این بازی شاهکاره داداش. ببین فکر نمی کنم به اون دیدی که من دارم این بازی رو میبینم گفته باشن شاهکاره. خب یعنی همه از این دید که لا داشت رید بهم فکر اینم کرده بود. و معلومه که فکر همه جور کرده، اصلا بازی جوری دیزاین شده که اگه به تو بگه برو چپ بری راست چی بهت بگه، چون میدونه که کرکتر تو توی بازی نمیره سمت راست. خب این میدونه تویی، بازی از اول میدونه با تو طرفه و برای تو داستان تعریف میکنه، نه کرکتر توی بازیت. مثلا میگم خود گالاوار رگناروک هم حتی یه تیکه این کارو کرده بود. مثلا اینجوری بود که وقتی زیاد میری مرمر میچرخی میری لوت کنی اینا، مثلا یارو میگه بابات چشه، مثلا اینجوری میکنه آتروس، میگه آره بابام هر از گاهی حال میکنه بره این ور چیزی میذاره داغون کنه و دنبال لوت بگرده. خب میدونه که با تو طرفه اونجا، میدونه که اینجا نویسنده میدونسته که اوکی پلیرها ممکنه لوت کنن این کارو بکنن اون کارو بکنن، پس برای کرکتر توی بازیمون دیالوگ بذاریم داستان بچینیم. ولی میگم این بازی با خودت کار داره، اما یک سری چیزای نمادین هم تو خودش قرار داده. میدونستم بازی واقعا مثلا این مدلی خوبه، نویسندگیش این مدلی کارگردانیش خوبه، فقط اینجوری بودم که اوکی جوکه. در هر صورت اون مسیر خلاصه شده به همون چیزی که دیزاین شده، تو تحت کنترل نیستی، یعنی تو در نهایت کنترلی نداری و خود بازی هم حتی اینو میدونه و راجبه همین هم داستان تعریف میکنه. خب که چه توی این بازی چه توی بازی های دیگه هر چقدر لول اپ کنی، هر کاری کنی بری نمیدونم هر کاری کنی، کنترل دست تو نیست. تو وقتی گیم رو استارت کردی کنترل دست ما بود، تو وقتی گیم رو استارت کردی باختی، خود داستان گیمه و این خیلی قشنگ. میگم من اگه بخوام از این بازی تعریف کنم دوست دارم به این ساید قضیه بیشتر نگاه کنم تا اینکه صرفا راجع به جوکش و ها خیلی خنده داره داداش میرینه به گیم رو دیولپر. مثلا هر گیم دیگه ای داره میگه عملا مهم نیست ترینر بزنی، مهم نیست کوست رو همون جوری که باید انجام بدی پرفکت، یا اصلا گیم هر کاری بهت میگه نکنی که ببینی چه اتفاقی میفته چه اتفاقی نمیفته که با بازی گیر بدی یا گیر ندی که دیولپرها چرا فکر اینجا نکردن فلان 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 فلان، هر کاری کنی در نهایت تو گیمی هنوز زندگی واقعی وقتی که از گیم بری بیرون that's real life. اصلا دو سه تا از اندینگاش قشنگ همینه دیگه. به نظرم بیشتر توی بازی باشه، بیشتر یک روانشناسه که رفتی پیشش. ببین انگار مثل چی میمونه، همون تو یک مثلا عقیده اشتباهی از صنعت گیم و بازی ها داشتی، بعد میری پیش یه روانشناسی که گیمره، کارش گیمه خب و میخواد یه سری مفهوما رو از ذهن تو حذف کنه یا جابجا کنه، چیکار میتونه بکنه؟ به یه سری چیزا ارزش بده، ارزش یه سری چیزا رو برداره، بر فرض مثلا اچیومنت، و واقعا مثال خوبی داره.
For your respect, the kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't...
این کلن الان مثلا داره به من میگه این کارو بکن من نمیتونم، بعد مثلا داره بهم گیری میده، بعد مثلا چه بدونم خود بازی میگه سعی کن به داستان بیشتر اهمیت بدی و مثلا متوجه اون بشی تا اینکه بری این ور اون ور بگردی ببینی اینجا چیه اونجا چیه این چیه اون چیه. هر کاری بکنی در نهایت قراره برگردی سراغ داستان اصلی. و یه جا خودش دیالوگ داره میگفت الان اگه تو یه انتخاب دیگه میکردی چی؟ اگه هر دو انتخابی که میکنی در نهایت اونقدر بهت حال نده و استوری اصلی رو بگیری چی؟ فقط کافی از یه دید دیگه، از یه دیدگاه دیگه، از یه ویژن دیگه، از یه بود دیگه بهش نگاه کنی خب که این نریتور در اصل گیم دیولپر دیگه، در اصل گیم دیولپره، میاد به تو بگه من نیاز دارم تو بازی من باشی، من نمیتونم تنها باشم، هی ما درگیر این هستیم که تو منو کنترل کنی من تو رو، ولی من نیاز دارم تو بازی من یه کاری بکنی. اوکی باشه، کوست منو نرو، مین کوست منو نرو، استوری منو نرو، باشه برو در راست، فقط باش you know. و حالا اینو میتونی بذاری دید مارکتینگ، حاجی دیولپرها چقدر حروم زادن، اینو میتونی بذاری دید مثلا ایموشن و بگی شت گیم دیولپرها مثلا واقعا مخصوصا ایندیا نیاز دارن که ما بازیشون رو تجربه کنیم، بازیشون رو باز کنیم. حالا هر کاری میکنیم مهم نیست. اوه ببین نمیدونم چجوری ولی این گیما به هم کانکت میشدن و اون کانکت کردنشون به هم نسخه قبلی و یه آپدیت واسش میدادن، یه سری دیالوگ و اندینگ جدید و وایس اوور و اینا اضافه میکردن. وقتی از گیم جدیده میرفتی تو قبلی، از قبلی میرفتی جدید، و اینجوری بود که چرا داری تو دوتا نسخه مثلا میری که چی ببینیم مثلا گرافیکمون چقدر عوض شده، تکسچرامون رو مثلا عوض، مثلا چقدر تغییر کرده، نور پردازیمون بهتر شده یا نه. مگه مهمه؟ مگر داستان من لذت نمیبری استنلی؟ مگه مهم من نیستم که صدای منو بشنوی؟ و ببین اگه آخ خیلی کارهای خفنی میتونست. اگه بگیم مثلا واسه این بازی 50,000 صفحه مثلا دیالوگ نوشتن، اون 50,000 صفحه به نسبت اینکه بازی قابلیت کوآپ داره میشه 150,000. بعد برای خود کوآپ دیالوگای متفاوت باید بنویسی، بشه مثلا چه بدونم 300,000. خب حالا نمیگم حتما همونقدر ولی خیلی بالا پایین میشه. سر همین حداقل چند تا میشن مثلا اونجوری داشت خیلی باحال میشد که چند تا میشن خاص کوآپ باشه، محدود به یه سری تصمیمایی که اکثر پلیرها سری پیداشون میکنن تو بازی. مثلا چه بدونم همین تلفن، یا همین که بری سری به اندینگ برسی یا نرسی، مثلا اون مدلی. چه بدونم مثلا بری اسپیدران کنی، یه نفر بره اسپیدران کنه اندینگو تمام کنه، بعد تو میمونی مثلا داری با خود برمیری و مثلا تیکه بندازه میبینی محمد حتی اسپیدران کرد. خب الان رفته به زندگی رسیده. he got life, get a life مثلا. بعضی موقع تو به خاطر اسپیدران یا حالا اینکه مثلا داری دوباره میری دوبار بازی میکنی اسکیپ میخوای. خب ولی خیلی ها فقط اسکیپ میکنن چون واسه شون مهم نیست داستان، چون فقط میخواد سریع رد کنن، فقط میخواد تمام شه چه بدونم بازی گیم پلی، اینو میخوام اونو میخوام. اهمیت نمیدن که نویسنده چه داستانی واسه شون نوشته که حالا بعد از دیدنش، شنیدنش، خوندنش متوجهشن خوبه یا بده که بهش گیر بدن. این بازی حالا اسکیپ میخواست ولی داشتنش خراب میکرد به نظر من، چون بار اول خیلی استفاده میکردن از این قضیه و بازی قابلیت دوبار بازی کردن رو نداره تقریبا. به خاطر همین چیزه اوکی به نظر من.
Main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
الان مثلا میگه دیگه، الان میگه من نمیدونستم تو آدمی. ببین میگه من نمیدونستم تو آدمی، پس به خاطر همینه تو میپری رندوم کرکتر منو میکشی. خب چون یک آدم تا وقتی توی بازی نباشه ریسک پذیری حتی اگه داشته باشه یه سری کارا رو تست نمیکنه، امتحان نمیکنه که صرفاً ببینه چی میشه. ولی چون تو بازی خب این کارو میکنه دیگه، چرا که نه. و من به این قضیه به خاطر تو فکر کردم واسه دیالوگ گذاشتم. خیلی بازی شاید این کار نه. بازی قبل اینکه شروع بشه میتونه به من نریتیو بده. خب و نه تنها نشون میده همه چی مهمه، حتی چیزهای کوچیک. کلاً همه چیزها وقتی کنار هم گذاشته میشن یک چیزی رو خودشون نشون میدن دیگه. نه به تنهایی اونقدر مفهوم خاصی نداره. مثلا اوکی آهنگ دارک سوز به تنهایی آهنگ خوبه، ولی وقتی رو فلان باس با فلان درجه سختی با فلان داستان با فلان دیزاین منطقه میفته همه چی خیلی خفنه مثلا. و تو از کجا میدونستی که آف کردن موزیک یا آف نکردنش میتونه مثلا باس رو خراب کنه، یا اینکه ساعت تو درست تنظیم کنی که بازی طبق اونجوری که مثلا طبق اون منطقه خودتون مثلا آب و هوا رو تنظیم کنی، چه هر چی. جامپ.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
ببین حتی اینم مسخره بازیه. خب راست ببین اصلا فاکینگ هل به یه سری بازی ها ساده ترین المان ممکنه از تو میگیرن، DLC میدن، پول میگیرن، نسخه 2 میدن و تو به بازیشون هیچ چیز جدیدی اضافه نمیکنن جز همونی المان. و ایام یه عمدن سردر که رد کنی ها.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
But
where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability.